I knew something was wrong the second my key didn't fit. By the time I realized strangers were sleeping in my bed, my own kids were already lying to my face, and that was the moment I decided I was done being their safety net. My name is Carol Whitaker. I'm 62. And up until a few months ago, I thought I had a good relationship with my children. Not perfect, but good enough. I'm a retired school secretary from Ohio, widowed 8 years now, and I've lived in the same 3-bedroom house for over 25 years. It's the house my husband and I raised our kids in. Every scratch on the hardwood floor has a story. Every scuff on the wall tells a memory. After my husband passed, things changed. Not dramatically, just gradually. My son, Jason, moved back in for a while after a messy divorce. My daughter, Melissa, started visiting less but calling more, usually when she needed something. I didn't mind. They were my kids. Helping them felt natural. About 3 months ago, I decided to take a short vacation. Nothing fancy, just a quiet 2-week trip to Vermont. I needed the break. Before I left, I told Jason he could stay at the house while I was gone, just to keep an eye on things. He agreed easily. "Don't worry, Mom," he said, leaning against the kitchen counter. "I'll take care of everything." Looking back, that was the first red flag. He didn't ask any questions, didn't hesitate, just agreed too quickly. Melissa, on the other hand, seemed unusually interested in my travel plans. "So you'll be gone the full 2 weeks?" she asked over the phone. "Maybe a few days more," I said. "Why?" "No reason. Just making sure someone's checking the mail." At the time, I didn't think much of it. The first week of my trip was peaceful. Quiet mornings, long walks, no stress. Jason texted me once or twice, mostly short updates. "All good here. House is fine," that kind of thing. But then, toward the end of the second week, I started noticing something odd. He stopped responding as quickly. Sometimes hours would go by. Once, an entire day. I called him that night. "Hey, everything okay?" I asked. Yeah, he said quickly. Too quickly. "Just busy." "Busy with what?" "Stuff around the house." There was noise in the background. Not TV noise. More like voices. "Are you having people over?" I asked. A pause. Just a second, but I caught it. "Just a couple friends, nothing crazy." I let it go. I didn't want to be that parent, checking up on every little thing, but something didn't sit right. Before I continue, if you enjoy real-life karma stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I always love seeing how far these stories travel. I ended up cutting my trip short by 2 days. I didn't tell Jason. I wanted to surprise him. Or maybe I just wanted to see things for myself. I got back late in the afternoon. My suitcase in one hand, purse in the other. And that's when I saw it. The front door had a digital keypad. Not mine. Not something I installed. I stood there for a second, confused, thinking maybe I had the wrong house, which is ridiculous, because I've lived there for decades. I tried my key anyway. It didn't fit. That's when my stomach dropped. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, louder this time. After a minute, the door opened. A young woman I had never seen before stood there, wrapped in a towel, hair wet like she'd just come out of the shower. She looked just as confused as I felt. "Hi, can I help you?" she said. I stared at her. "This is my house." She blinked. We rented this place." My ears started ringing. "You what?" "My boyfriend booked it online," she said, suddenly defensive. "We have a confirmation and everything." Behind her, I could see my living room, my furniture, my pictures, but something felt off. Too clean, too staged, like a hotel version of my own home. "Where is Jason?" I asked, my voice tighter now. "I don't know any Jason," she said. That's when a man walked up behind her holding a phone. "Is there a problem?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "A big one." He frowned, then showed me his screen. It was a listing. Photos of my house, my kitchen, my bedroom, all neatly uploaded under a short-term rental site. My house, listed like a vacation property. My hands started shaking. "How much did you pay for this?" I asked. He hesitated. $2,000 for the week." $2,000. I stepped back, trying to process it. My son. My daughter. One of them, both of them, had turned my home into a business. Without telling me, without asking, I pulled out my phone and called Jason. He picked up on the third ring. "Hey, Mom, where are you?" I cut him off. A pause. "What do you mean?" "I'm standing outside my house. There are strangers inside. Start talking." Silence. Then, finally, he said, "Okay, just calm down." "Don't tell me to calm down," I snapped. "What did you do?" Another pause. Longer this time. "It's not a big deal," he said. "We were just renting it out while you were gone." So Melissa was involved too. "You changed my locks," I said slowly. "We upgraded them," he corrected. "It's safer." "Jason," I said, my voice shaking now. "You put strangers in my bed. They're paying guests, Mom. It's not like that." That's when something inside me shifted. Not anger, not yet, something colder. "How many times?" I asked. "What? How many times have you rented my house?" He didn't answer right away, and that silence told me everything. I looked back at the couple standing awkwardly in my doorway, then at the listing still glowing on the man's phone. And in that moment, I realized this wasn't a one-time thing. This had been going on behind my back for a while, and if I didn't stop it right then, they were never going to stop. I took a slow breath and said, very quietly, "You have exactly 10 minutes to get here." "Mom, let's just talk about this." 10 minutes, I repeated, and hung up. Because what they didn't realize yet was that they hadn't just crossed a line. They'd just lost the only home they had left. I waited on the front porch, arms crossed, heart pounding but mind sharp. Jason and Melissa pulled up in Jason's old sedan, both looking like deer caught in headlights. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for them but then I remembered every lie, every text I'd ignored, every just busy excuse. "Mom, we can explain," Jason started, voice shaky. "Explain what?" I cut him off. "How you turned my house into a money-making scheme without telling me. How you let strangers sleep in our beds. How long have you been doing this?" Melissa's eyes welled up. "It wasn't supposed to be permanent. We just thought." "You thought what? That I wouldn't notice? That I'd be okay with strangers living in my home while I was gone?" I snapped, taking a step closer. "Do you have any idea how violating this feels?" Jason opened his mouth again, but I held up my hand. "No, you're not going to talk your way out of this. I've called the lawyer, and the eviction notices are ready. 10 minutes, then you're out. No arguments, no apologies. You made your bed." Melissa trembled. "Mom, we didn't mean to." "Didn't mean to?" "Melissa, we are talking about my house, my memories, my life. You turned it into a business while I was gone. Did it ever occur to you what it would feel like to come home and find strangers in your own bedroom?" Jason muttered. "We just thought you'd be okay with it, Mom. You're always so generous." "Generous doesn't mean being a doormat," I snapped, my voice rising. "You used my kindness. You used my trust. And now you're going to face the consequences." By the time I walked inside, the guests were gathering their bags. Some looked confused, some annoyed, but none argued when I handed them printed eviction notices with a polite but firm explanation. "This property is privately owned. You must vacate immediately." Jason and Melissa lingered by the door, hesitant, fumbling with excuses. "Mom, can we just refund them? Fix this?" I shook my head. "No, you fix nothing. You lost my trust, and that's not refundable. Pack your things. You have exactly 10 minutes. Melissa started crying. I didn't think it was wrong." "Not thinking doesn't make it right," I said sharply. "Actions have consequences, Melissa. And now, you're learning yours the hard way." Jason's jaw tightened. "Mom, come on. You're making a huge deal out of nothing." "Nothing?" I shot back. "Do you even hear yourselves? I'm standing in my living room, and you've turned it into a hotel for strangers. My memories, my space, my life, nothing is nothing." They moved quickly after that, dragging their suitcases down the hallway, whispering frantic apologies to the bewildered guests as they left. Watching them scramble made me realize something. Sometimes the people you love the most are capable of the worst betrayals. And karma, in this case, wasn't some cosmic joke. It was very practical. They'd broken rules, and now they had to face the consequences. After they left, I walked through my home. Every photo, every memento, every little corner that held a memory felt different. Not damaged, not stolen, but reclaimed. My sanctuary had been violated, and now it was mine again. Quietly, finally mine. That night, I made myself a cup of tea and sat in my favorite armchair. I thought about my children and all the ways they had disappointed me, and I allowed myself a little anger, a little sadness, but mostly, I felt a strange pride. I hadn't caved. I hadn't let sentimentality blind me. I had stood my ground. I know some will say I was harsh. Maybe I was. But sometimes, being firm is the only way to teach people the limits of respect. And as I watched the sun set over the backyard I had fought to protect, I realized something else. My home isn't just a building. It's a boundary, a statement, a lesson. And some lessons, the hardest ones, are taught by actions, not words. Jason and Melissa eventually moved on, found their own apartments, and called a few weeks later with hesitant apologies. I listened, nodded, but I didn't offer forgiveness lightly. They had learned what I couldn't have said any other way. That trust, once broken, has real consequences. And me? I finally slept in my own bed without worrying, without compromise. For the first time in months, the house felt like home again. A hard lesson, yes, but a necessary one. Because sometimes the people who love you most are the ones you have to set firm boundaries with. And sometimes, standing your ground is the only real way to protect both your home and your dignity. I still love them, but I love myself and my peace more.